All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. It's exciting. Big part of my week. Sam Cates made an appearance at City Hall this week. In reference to design flaws at the new stadium, he implied the city had nothing to do with it. When it was pointed out that the former city CAO Phil Shiegel was a key player in the construction of the stadium, Cates doubled down, saying, if the city had anything to do with it, then why was the stadium built at all? After that, it was pointed out the stadium seemed to have been built poorly. Cates then conceded, saying, yeah, sounds like us, and then went to Burger King and ordered way more food than he could possibly eat. Provincial Liberals swept into power in Quebec this past week, reducing the PQ party to the official opposition. The PQ are said to be reevaluating their stance on sovereignty, one that still suggests a shared currency and close economic ties, but would entail Quebec finally getting its own Netflix account. A dentist in Alberta has purchased one of John Lennon's teeth in hopes that there's enough DNA in the tooth that he might one day clone the famous musician. Dr. Michael Zook, who purchased the tooth for over $30,000, told a British television show he would buy a guitar and guitar lessons for the clone and would even make more than one Lennon, once technology would allow it. Michael Keaton quickly called the dentist to warn him about the dangers of cloning, telling him that although the clones would all look identical, they wouldn't be the same intellectually. This week, Canadians of all political stripes were shocked and saddened by the untimely passing of Cyril Sneer, the evil industrialist of the raccoons. Reach for comment, Bert Raccoon said, yeah, it's too bad, but let's not forget he was always trying to destroy that forest we all love. The Heartbleed bug, a flaw in OpenSSL software, caused many Government of Canada websites to be shut down for security reasons last week. The head of Canada's Internet Security released a statement, we tried to tell everyone, we don't know how to internet. Canada is getting closer to finding a place to store its nuclear waste underground for the next 100,000 years. Or, you know, until it gets back on its feet at least. Maybe that part-time thing at David's Tea. As we wind down winter, so too winds down social season. Here to comment on this unique Manitoba tradition is Urban Affairs correspondent Michael Bloomquist. Welcome, Michael. So what can you tell us about Manitoba's socials?
Well, first off, let me ask if anyone here or out in TV land is having a social, because if so, I have a message for you from your wedding party. Ready? It goes like this. You. Since when did it become a thing that the wedding party has to take care of one of the social packages? Oh, I'm part of the wedding and I get to put together the handyman package?
Oh, you sound like you're not really a fan of socials.
No, I'm not. And if people in this province had any self-respect, they wouldn't be either. And don't tell me it's a party for the people who can't go to the wedding. You want to have a party? Fine, have a party. But don't pretend the social is anything other than a cash grab. No one ever says, well, we lost money, but at least our FedEx guy had a good time. At least we all had sandwiches on dry bread with cheese cubes.
Okay, point taken. But don't you think raising money for people's weddings is worthwhile?
No, I do not. Raising money so the people who generally already live together can have a nicer wedding and get newer versions of the they already have, that wedding? By the way, nobody ever wants the handyman package, Dan. That package is probably just going to wind up as a prize at another wedding social. There's just one handyman package, Dan. It makes the rounds to all the socials. Picking up new useless each time that nobody wants. It's like a snowball of unwanted crap. That's why it doesn't fit in one wicker basket anymore. Not because it's a good prize, but because it's full of stuff.
This is a tradition, Michael.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're just a Manitoba tradition. Because they're wrong. You guys are not trailblazers, you're just cheap. I can listen to Fishing in the Dark on my own time. I don't even need to be in a rundown community center to do it. Plus, you never win any good prizes. You just don't.
Okay, you know, I've seen some socials that have had decent prizes.
Oh yeah, the 40-inch TV that you can win. Because someone bought a sectional at the Brick and got it for free. Oh, also, I didn't even know Zenith still makes TV, Dan. You know what? Never mind about the crappy TV. Just put a $400 Visa gift card in there, or pay for your own wedding like a grown-up.
Wow. Well, I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bloomquist. All right. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, an Applebee's patron was surprised to find a large metal bolt in the sliders she ordered. Applebee's management apologized, stating that bolts cost extra and are normally only added to sliders on request. This occurred right before the building fell over as it was held together with pickles. It was announced last week that the iconic comic character of Archie Andrews will be killed in a story this summer. An Archie Comics spokesperson stated, "Archie will die as he lived, horny and indecisive." On Tuesday, two members of the U.S. Congress presented their side of a debate on inflation, showing a chart displaying the increased price of Big Macs as an example. To further prove the point, they then cited the 86-cent increase in the price of Applebee's sliders since they started adding bolts. Engineers at Stanford University have designed a gaming controller that has the capacity to detect players' emotions. So far, they've only needed to program two settings: senselessly enraged or unbelievably lonely. I can attest to that. Claire Diaz-Ortiz, an employee at Twitter, gave birth and live tweeted the entire 13-hour experience, including contractions, labor pains, and the live birth itself. After the birth, the father posted an Instagram photo of the placenta right before he ate it. When asked how it tasted, he said, "Much better than the placentas they serve at Applebee's, but it could have used more bolt." The Ukrainian government says it will suspend payment for deliveries of gas from Russia because of the recent military confrontation. It is feared this may spark a gas war bigger than Dave and Dickie's Burrito Super Bowl Three Little Pigs Cook-Off Blow the House Down Let's Barbecue Fart Bonanza of 1986. Rest in peace, Dave. The new information on the tragedy of missing Malaysian flight MH370 has been revealed that the flight may have crashed due to a missing bolt. Last week, it was reported that 4 teenage girls had fully functional lab-grown vaginas successfully implanted. We tried to reach the lab for comment, but the line was busy, presumably tied up by teenage boys calling about getting an implant for their couch. In other news, Jamaican track star Usain Bolt was tested positive for steroids. This was debunked later when it was found the source of the steroids were coming from the meat found in Applebee's sliders after Usain Bolt was at the restaurant to discuss an endorsement deal. And that's the news, everybody. Woo! We'll be right back with Andy Cole.